Hello, my friend, and welcome to Pro Wrestling Daily. My name is Aaron Machbitz. Hear me out for a second. What if Logan Paul actually wins the Elimination Chamber? I mean, he is the most hated heel in WWE, along with Dominic Mysterio. I mean, those guys both came out on the February 10th edition of Monday Night Raw and got booed out the building. They had terrible promos, but it doesn't even matter what they said because they were getting booed out the building, and that's the whole point of a heel. People come to see you so they can boo you and they can cheer on whoever else is in the ring with you. And Logan Paul and Dominic Mysterio, for some reason, have that figured out. I mean, Dominic Mysterio is just slimy and he's gross and he's doing a great job in his role. Logan Paul is just hated virtually for everything he's ever done in his whole life, and now he's become quite good at WWE and boxing and social media and all these sorts of things, and people are just upset, right? But what if, because he qualified for the Elimination Chamber last night, again on the February 10th edition of Monday Night Raw against Rey Mysterio. What if Logan Paul wins the Elimination Chamber and then heads to WrestleMania to face Cody Rhodes? I mean, it will never happen, but what if? How upset would everyone be? And when you're thinking about making the fans upset, would it be a good upset where they really want to come and see Logan Paul get his ass beat? Or is it a bad upset where you really turn them off the product and they stop watching entirely? That's sort of the fine line you have to watch when thinking about how you want to portray a bad guy. They can't be so bad where it turns the fans off and they're like, I'm not coming anymore. This guy absolutely just sucks, and it crossed the line. Or you make the bad guy so perfect that they're like, I have to come because I need to see this guy get his ass beat by whatever babyface is there. I just need to see that happen. So that's the fine line you have to walk when creating a great heel. But creating a great heel is really hard nowadays. So to have one like Logan Paul and Dominic Mysterio in the mix on Monday Night Raw is really quite good. But I do not think, I'm pretty sure that Logan Paul will not win the Elimination Chamber, but I do think a story that could be played out, because we really do think that John Cena is going to win the Elimination Chamber, and then I think Paul Heyman is going, or then CM Punk is going to call in that favor from Paul Heyman, and we'll see that triple threat match of CM Punk versus John Cena versus Cody Rhodes. But what if not Logan Paul doesn't win, but he costs John Cena the Elimination Chamber, and then we see John Cena go into a feud with Logan Paul heading into WrestleMania, and then we see CM Punk finish his story, and you get the CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes one-on-one match while you have Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins continue their feud moving forward. So what if Logan Paul becomes a big part of that, cost John Cena, because then we know that John Cena eliminated Logan Paul at the Royal Rumble. Then we have this monster feud between the biggest babyface the company possibly has ever seen, definitely in the last 25 years, versus the most hated guy, Logan Paul. They elevate each other heading into WrestleMania. Hopefully then John gets that 17th world title, maybe at SummerSlam or a later pay-per-view or just a random, Monday night. And then we see CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes. I think that is also an option when thinking about what could be played out heading into WrestleMania and Elimination Chamber. So it's just something to, think about as we map out these sort of different scenarios that could potentially happen at WrestleMania 41. And thinking about WrestleMania 41, I think also another great option would be an IC title match. We're going to have an IC title match, but who are going to be the participants? And on the February 10th edition of Monday Night Raw, we saw the return to Raw of AJ Styles. It looks like he's going to get into a little feud with Judgment Day, which will be whatever. I don't care about that. What I do care about is that face-off that he had with Braun Breaker, because I do think that Braun Breaker is going to be the breakout star of 2025, but AJ Styles is an absolute first ballot Hall of Famer and one of the best professional wrestlers to ever do it. So it would be amazing to have them feud for the IC title heading into WrestleMania 41, but I think since WWE is absolutely in love with Penta, I mean, they had another promo for him last night, the presentation is just getting better and better for Penta. I think he's going to go into a little feud with Pete Dunne. AJ AJ Styles will go into a little feud with Dominic Mysterio and Judgment Day, and then those two will branch off, and then Penta and AJ Styles will be hunting for the IC title, and then we'll see a triple threat match of Penta, AJ Styles versus Braun Breaker at WrestleMania 41 for the IC title. And now if they're still really pushing Penta at this point, which I've predicted that he's going to fizzle out and just be another guy on the roster, like everyone else who's not booked really well or like had priority after about 6 months. But if he wins that title, that WrestleMania match, like he debuts in January, has a debut in the Royal Rumble. They tried to put him over there. He did okay. And then they go to WrestleMania and they give him the IC title on his first match in a triple threat against Braun Breaker, who's going to be the breakout star of 2025, and against AJ Styles, a first ballot Hall of Famer. They have him win that match, which all signs sort of lead to that, but they also present Braun Breaker really well too. It's hard not to. The guy's an absolute fucking animal and a beast. But I think that would be a cool triple threat match of AJ Styles versus Braun Breaker versus Penta for the IC title at WrestleMania 41. And then speaking of main event, it is official now. Jey Uso versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania 41. For whoever thought that Jey Uso's steam and popularity was just going to go down and down and down right after he won the Royal Rumble is wrong. We saw him come to Monday Night Raw, the Raw after the Royal Rumble, got a huge ovation, had all the crying, the emotion, just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. And the fans wanted him to do an encore. He goes to Friday Night SmackDown, does the same thing. We see him last night on Monday Night Raw, still doing the same thing. The fans are just absolutely juiced about Jey Uso. I think Bully Ray, I believe it was, compared it to like a Stone Cold Steve Austin-esque, right? It's super easy to have someone be over at the Royal Rumble and fans just be excited in that moment. What's not normal and what's very rare is it continues afterwards and fans are just like pumped. And so I think it looks like WWE might have made the wrong decision. I might have been wrong because I didn't think it was a great choice. But, whatever. I get my predictions wrong all the time. That's why I just do the show so I can say whatever I want. But it looks like Jey Uso is really, really garnered the appreciation, the admiration, and the respect of the fans. And then I absolutely loved when Gunther came out, started beating the shit out of him. That's when Gunther is at his best. Gunther is not at his best when he's doing promos and all this other shit. He's at his best when he's being the ring general, when he's just beating the shit out of people, being a professional, and taking care of that world title. And so that's going to be a great match at WrestleMania 41. I don't think it's a main event of either night, but it is still a World Heavyweight Championship match, and that's amazing. I prefer if Gunther wins just because I have a sweet spot for him because I wrestled with him when I was a professional wrestler, but I do think Jey Uso is finally going to dethrone Gunther and become the World Heavyweight Champion that everyone thinks and knows that he can be, and so that'll be a really unbelievably cool moment for everyone involved. And I think that's all I have for you today on this show. So please, if you agree, disagree, have any comments, please drop them below. I'd absolutely love to hear from you, and anything that you want me to talk about or discuss, I would love to hear about that as well. And please subscribe, share this with every single wrestling fan that you have ever known in your whole life. But I appreciate you, and I'll see you guys on the next video, and lots of love. Cheers.